Hi, I'm Diane Leonard,
And I'm Bethany Planton.
and we're with Agile and Nonprofits and coming to you today to talk about books. Okay, but specifically this book, the Scrum Field Book by J.J. Sutherland, who's the CEO of Scrum Inc., and also happens to be the co-author of what's known as the Red Book, which is the original Scrum book, The Art of Doing Twice the Work in Half the Time. That one's back here too. You'll have to go watch our other book club if you want to hear those questions. But today, the question I have that I want you to ponder: how is your work in your nonprofit organization, in your charity, how is your work modular? How can you pull it apart, put it back together, think about different elements, plug and play? Maybe think Legos. I think of a fighter jet case study where they literally had a part that could just come in and out.
Mm.
I get it. We're not playing Legos. We're not building fighter jets. But Bethany, what
But
examples do you have of modularity in our work?
I'm good. I keep coming back to grants because that's surprise. And knowing, not every grant application and report are the same, but your program might have stayed the same for the year and you might be writing for it multiple times. So what parts of that previous applications have the same information and are being asked in another application that you do not have to rewrite everything from scratch because you already have some language that works as to describe your target population. And this grant is also asking for that.
I'll take your grant example and I'll raise you. No, actually, I think I'll see you is what I call. I'm not good at poker anyway, but whatever. But attachments, super plug and play.
Yes.
New financials come out, pull one
Mm-hmm.
out, put one back in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I love your narrative example too, but I'm like, oh, the attachments just literally dawned on me in this moment. I'm like, those are really nice. In, out, and then they last until something's updated. Let's go for another example. Let's think about one that could be non-grant. I have one. It's grant funded.
Okay.
But it's not a grant example. How's that? Does that count?
Sounds good. Yeah, I think so.
Science kits that get mailed to students. So like one's a science one, one's a summer camp one. The different elements, like what are the activities? The activity units, plug and play. You could trade one in and out. All of them could have the Make It Home s'mores kit so that they all feel like a camp experience. But are we talking about one that's like building a little robot that we're going to plug and play? And so you can make little changes to the boxes and the units depending on the age of the kids or like what the theme is. And that one always comes to mind because the story of testing said s'mores kit. That's also a minimum viable product conversation about how that was tested. What a hard day at work when you have to test a s'mores kit out in the parking lot to see if it works.
That sounds rough.
Without fire.
Yeah.
I know. If you want to know about that, ask me in the comments. I'll tell you all about it. They still are delicious.
That also brings up another example that's also grant funded work. A veterans organization that provides different types of therapy because they want to provide non-narcotic care to the veterans. And so they provide things like acupuncture and guided imagery and healing touch. Well, they have series where a veteran comes in and says, they go through an intake process, and then with someone, they decide what series they should go through. Well, all the series involve all the elements of therapy, but if you need maybe the acupuncture detox, you're going to go through more acupuncture than any of the other ones. Or if they have a cancer series, then you're going to go through maybe 5 of one session and 5 of another. So it changes, but they're still offering the same 3 or 4 actual therapies. It just depends on the client and what they need.
That's a great example because something could change in one of the series or sessions and they're not redoing all the things.
Yep.
Right? Because that's back to some earlier conversations we had. That's really expensive. So yeah, plug and play can help make changes cheaper for organizations with limited resources. Oh, what an awesome example. Fantastic. Okay, we want to hear your examples. You knew it was coming. Hit us up in the comments with your examples of plug and play in your work in your nonprofit or charity. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe.